let's do on step index and you see. Now, every time we start doing a top down, we start on the weekly. Yeah? We start on the weekly and we see where we are. Hello?
Hello.
You can hear me, right? I'm saying
Yes, I can.
every time you start doing a top down, you start on the weekly because as much as you might do everything on the H4, if you are in a higher time frame area of sensitivity, the weekly or the monthly, then whatever is going on the H4 will not really matter. You understand?
Yeah.
So this is the index, and on the weekly, I think this is the all-time low. This point I've marked with this line. Can you see that? Even if I scroll to the left, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay, so that is the all-time low. So over here, there are a lot of people who are waiting to buy because when the price was here, it generated all these impulsive move. I don't know for how many weeks or maybe it's even a year because this is the weekly time frame. And now the price is heading there again. So you can imagine the number of people that are waiting to buy from here. Because remember I said anytime the price is low, the lower the price, the higher the demand. So it's just a common sense, just like any other business. The more the price keeps on tanking down, then the more we'll be expecting a very strong bullish move. Now, what matters is where are we expecting that move to come from? Understand?
Yes.
So right here, this was the all-time low of the index. And now the price is approaching there again. I'm not saying that it cannot break there and continue down. Of course it can, and it has does that so many times because this is the market. But
Yes.
in trading, you use the past data to speculate the future. So as of now, we are expecting, even if this price will continue down from here, even if it will break, there must be some bias over here. Understand? Because this is the weekly time frame. There must be some bias. You will see a couple of buying candles on the H4 and H1. Even if the buy trend will not be strong, at least it will have to reach somewhere around here. Understand?
Yes.
At least that is something that we are at least quite sure about. Not 100%, but we are convinced the price is likely, because now, even if we are saying this is a lower trend, because this is a high, then you have let me go to the line graph. Then you have a lower high over here, and then we have a lower high. This is the most recent one, right? So what we are saying, we are expecting a bullish move from where the market is right now, and we are saying this bullish move, it might be a very strong one. Number one, the two probabilities that it might be a very strong one that will cause a very strong bullish move. You understand?
Yes.
Number two, this bullish move might not be a strong one. It might just reach somewhere and then continue with that down move. You understand? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'm saying this is the most recent. In any case, even if the bullish move will be strong or weak, this is the most recent high. So what you're expecting is the price should mitigate this high before anything else, before it decides whether it will continue going up or it will break this all-time low. But one thing is that it should mitigate this most recent high over here, because you are in a downtrend in the weekly. You can see that. So what we should be focusing on is to catch those buy moves up to this area right now. That is what should be our focus. And then once the price gets here, we will stay away for a while on step index and wait to see if the market will want to break this high or it will want to reverse and continue with its down move. You're getting it, huh?
Yes, I'm.
Okay. So right now we are going to the lower time frames, and we have already seen an area that we want to really get out once the market reaches there. So we are going to the lower time frames and try to cut those buy moves up to this low, up to this high, because we have said even if the trend will want to continue up or it will want to reverse from here, that is not our business. Our business now is to catch, because price touched this all-time low. If you go to the candlesticks, you can see. Let me zoom in. You can see,
Yes, yes.
we touched there. So right now we are focusing on getting to this most recent high for it to get mitigated, and then we will be away for a while to wait if it will want to break from there and continue and do a counter trend, or it will want to continue down. So right now we are just focusing on catching these buy moves up to here. So that is number one on step index. And you can see even the the last 2 weeks, you can see this was a doji candle,
Yes.
and then followed by this one. It didn't have such an impulsive body. So we go to the daily and see where can we now catch the buy moves. You can see we had a very strong sell move from here, and then look at the nature of the candles over here. Can you see that
Yes, yes.
they are not healthy? They are not healthy as compared to these ones, eh? So
Yeah.
it means to some extent this sell momentum is being exhausted. You understand? This sell momentum that we had a very strong sell move from here. Right now it is being exhausted. You can see the nature of the candles, the nature of the selling candles right now. They have a very small body. So what am I saying? We will have to have some buy moves up to around this area we have discussed, that we will now be away, and then we wait to see what the market will want to do. You understand? So you need to know also that when the market wants to change the direction, normally the nature of the, if it was a bearish market, normally the nature of the candles, they will start being exhausted. You can see over here.
Mm.
You can see over here
Yes.
these candles, the way they look like, they are not the same as these ones.
Mm.
So it means this selling momentum is fizzling out slowly. And in any case, if we were to continue with that strong sell move, this order block was supposed to be respected over here. Can you see this?
Yes.
But you can see it is being depleted. That is what is happening right now. So once it is depleted, then that is what we call a breaker block. A breaker block simply is, let's say we were in a downtrend. Let me do a small drawing over here. We were in a downtrend like this. The market was forming lower highs and lower lows. We were in a very healthy downtrend. And then all of a sudden, maybe we have reached a higher time frame demand zone. And that is why I normally tell you guys that you need to know what the higher time frame, where you are in the higher time frame, because that is what will determine the direction. The lower time frames will never conquer the higher time frames. So once you reach this uh, higher time frame demand zone, what happens is that you realize this most recent high is taken out, number one.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
Because now, remember, you are waiting over here for this retracement, and then you continue with that down move. You are waiting over here, and then you continue. But what normally happens when you reach a higher time frame demand zone, this most recent low, high, I mean, will be taken out. Understand?
Yes. Yes.
So once this most recent high is taken out, then it becomes a breaker block, because and now a breaker block also is a point of interest on its own, because you are waiting for the market to retrace over here, and then we continue with that down move. You understand?
Mm. Yes.
But since we are in a higher time frame demand zone, this most recent high will have to be taken out, because now once you reach this higher time frame demand zone, there has to be a counter trend. There have to be a counter trend to counter this strong bearish move that was there. So what happens once this breaker block is broken up? What you do now, when price comes to mitigate over there, then this becomes a point of interest on its own, and then you continue with that bullish move like that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let me remove the drawing. Now we go to the market and see, because now I told you last time that in the market you don't expect for it to be a straight line like that, because anyway it can't be a market, and that is why many people cannot trade,
Yeah.
because they cannot observe it on the market the way they are seeing it on the book. Now what happens over here, what is happening is that we had this order block. This was the most recent high, right? In terms of the daily, now we are on the daily. This was the most recent high, and now we're expecting the price to mitigate over here, and we continue with that down move. You understand?
Yeah.
But since we are in a higher time frame demand zone, as we have seen from the weekly time frame, we were in an all-time low. That is exactly what is happening, as I've illustrated in that drawing. We are in a higher time frame demand zone, and now what is happening is that this most recent high on the daily, because this is an area of sensitivity. Even if I'm to stretch it on the left, can you see?
Yeah.
Since we are in a higher time frame demand zone, because we are in a weekly demand zone, what happens is that this high will be taken out. It will be taken out, and once it's taken out, now a retest of that high becomes a point of interest. And I personally like breaker blocks so much, because they are barely breached. Mostly they respect the zone. So what we do, once this high is taken out, we are going to look for buy moves up to this weekly most recent high that we have discussed, because this is that weekly most recent high, and right now we're on the daily. You understand?
Yes.
Now what happens is that we continue going to the H4, and we make our zone precise, because we cannot use the entire zone. So we are on H4 right now, and this is that weekly demand zone, this is that weekly most recent high, and then this is that daily most recent high. You understand?
Yeah.
And now the price was in a consolidation. Can you see that? You remember we discussed about the types of trends, eh?
Yeah.
Which one is this? This one over here. Which one? This
Like the green line, the straight green
no,
line, and
okay, let me between this gray and this one, which type of trend is this?
the uptrend
This one.
between
Between this gray zone and this gray zone.
these days downtrend.
This is a consolidation, because price was playing between these two levels, between here and here. Can you see that? Remember, in an uptrend or a downtrend, you have to see those lower lows and lower highs forming. But here, we don't have that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
We actually have equal highs. Can you see this is almost the same level of highs? And then we have equal lows down here. Can you see that?
Oh, you asked between the two grays.
Yes, that was what I was asking.
Yeah, it's a consolidation.
Yes, that is consolidation. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and now on this consolidation, it has just happened out of nowhere, but in an area that we are saying we're expecting some reversals from there. So what happens is that this is that daily most recent high. I've just refined it on H4. And that is why right now we don't have any setup on step index, because what I'm waiting for is for price to break this most recent high. Maybe by end of today or tomorrow, it will have done that. And once it breaks it, now a retest of it will be a buy up to this daily, you can put your TP somewhere around here, up to this weekly most recent high. You understand?
Yes.
So you are understanding how I come up with these setups, eh?
Yeah.
That
Somewhat.
is the index. So right now, what we are waiting for is for this. Okay, because this is the market, and I do tell you every time that nobody controls it, and it can even as well from where it is right now. It can continue down from where it is right now. So if it continues down, we are going now to consider this gray zone here to be our point of interest. You understand?
Yes. Yeah.
But as of now, because we have discussed that top-down analysis and we have seen what the market is doing and where it's likely to go. So as of now, I'll wait for this area to be broken up, and then I'll favor buys.